Have at it. No? I defer.
All right, good evening, everyone. This is the Municipal Regulations Committee meeting for Monday, March 9th, 2026, and it's 7:04 p.m. And let me just read the agenda at the top of the agenda here. This is a notice for public hearings. It's a hybrid meeting. It's in person and online virtual meeting. In accordance with Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2025, which extends the Governor's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, Mass General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 20, until June 30th, 2027, these public hearings will be conducted in person and virtually via Google Meets. Public hearings will be held by the Municipal Regulations Committee on Monday, March 9th at 7 p.m. to hear and discuss both the May 4th, 2026 annual town meeting articles and the May 4th, 2026 special town meeting articles that are listed on the agenda. As your town moderator, I will not be voting this evening. I'll just be running the equipment. I'm just reading the beginning of this agenda. The public hearings may be recorded and may be broadcasted live over SMAC, which is StoughtonTV.com, and or recorded for later broadcast and internet access. To participate in the public hearings with Google Meets, the URL is on the agenda. To join the public hearings by phone, it's 413-679-2752, and then you have to enter the PIN, which is 991-051-462#. Agenda items may be taken out of order at the chairperson's discretion. Votes may be taken on recommending articles at the annual town meeting and also to the special town meeting. This meeting is called to order, and I ask you to rise if you're able and recite the Pledge of Allegiance with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Please be seated. Now I have the extreme pleasure of turning the meeting over to the chairperson, John Rock. John?
Thank you. It is my honor to be turned over to. First, I'll take attendance to see if we have a quorum. I'll read your name and state whether you're here or not. Michael Moore?
Here.
Philip Connors? Okay. Oh, he is online? Okay.
I'm sorry, he's online. Phil, your microphone is turned off.
Okay, well, you're here. Thanks. John Rock, partially here. David Billow? Okay. Tracy Sloan Maggio? Is she online? She's online. Okay. Hi. Okay, Joseph Piana? Here. Marina Ryantz? Is she online? Marina, you online? I don't see her. Okay. And Karen Klipp's not here. So we do have a quorum, so let's proceed. Can I have let's review and approve the minutes from the last meeting, which was on September 30th. I assume everybody's had a chance to look at them. So I'll just go around the room and call your name, and you can say whether you vote to approve. Michael Moore?
I vote to approve the minutes.
Philip Connors?
Yes, vote to approve.
Okay. John Rock, I wasn't here for some reason or other. Probably a good one. David Billow?
Approve.
Tracy?
Approve.
Joseph? Approve. Marina, are you here?
I'm here. I
Okay.
approve. I approve as well.
Okay, thank you. Okay, great.
Mr. Chairman,
So-
could I ask if we could just add page numbers to the minutes? Because since there's 4 pages, it'd be good to have page numbers.
Okay,
If you don't, if it's up to you, it's up to you, Mr.
yeah,
Chairman.
let's add page numbers to the minutes. A reasonable request. Okay, can I have a motion to open the public meeting, the public portion of the meeting? Public hearing.
So moved.
Okay, second? Second. Okay, let's have a vote. Michael Moore,
Approve.
Philip Connors,
Aye.
John Rock, aye. David,
Aye.
Tracy,
Aye.
Joseph? Marina?
Aye.
Okay, public hearing is now open. So let's take the articles in order. So we'll start with Article 32, zoning bylaw, proposed senior housing development. Do we have someone who wants to speak on that?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Bill Roth, Town Planner. Can you hear me?
Maybe a little bit louder or?
It's Bill Roth, Town Planner.
Yeah,
Can you
okay.
hear me?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. I'm here to present the planning board's worked on and held public hearings for a proposed senior bylaw amendment. And one of the reasons they looked at doing this is that currently the bylaw, if you wish to do a senior development in the town of Stoughton, you can only be done by the housing authority. No private developers can do it. We've been receiving a lot of inquiries from different developers. So we looked at crafting a bylaw. We're recommending that the senior bylaw, it's a special permit. It would be allowed in only 3 zoning districts, the RM, which is the multifamily, the RU, which is the residential urban, which is the ring just outside of the downtown center, and the general business zone. And then you obviously have a copy of the bylaw. It discusses, what's allowed. It sets up actually design guidelines. It talks about building placement, landscaping. One of the things that we did is that the dimensional requirements for the perimeter have to meet the underlying zone, and then everything within is more done through site plan review and special permit through a developer. And then we have the exceptions to setbacks in section 2. We've looked at the densities for this, which would be for projects that are 2 acres and under, which would be 8 units to the acre, which is about a 5,000 square foot lot size. For between 2 and 5 acres would be 10 units to the acre. And for properties that are 5 acres and greater, 16 units to the acre. So there is also the ability for the planning board through the hearings addressed that if you wish to do an affordable project, you could get a density bonus for that. And we also looked at parking and special criteria for the senior housing, in addition to the normal criteria for special permit. And I'm here to answer any questions. And the planning board voted unanimous to recommend to town meeting.
Are there any questions from the committee members? Dave?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I think this looks good and actually kind of exciting. I was just wondering, is this something that was crafted within Stoughton, or is it similar to what other towns are doing? How does that compare?
Well, I actually have a consultant on board, the Horsley Witten Group out of Providence, and we were looking at another project called, looking at planned residential development, which would be, and hopefully we might be bringing that in the future. A lot of the elements that are in this bylaw came out of the draft of the planned residential development bylaw. And then we really took it and drilled down for the specifics for the senior development. So, you know, I actually I had a consultant under contract for one thing, and it looked like I'm going to get two bylaws for the price of one.
Okay, thank you.
I have just one question on the age minimum. Is it 65 or is it otherwise?
At the end, the definition, we're going with the state. So it's 55, subject to senior housing laws.
Okay, thank you.
That's part of fair housing laws. So we're looking at, if we did it at a greater age, there's some scrutiny on fair housing laws. So we're just going with the definition that's defined in the state.
That's why I'm asking. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a question. The legality of this restrictions. So just my understanding that housing authority, public housing, isn't just town housing authority, right? Only has under their wing is public housing, but every other senior housing can be should not be restricted. I think it's only it sounds like the restrictions is unfair.
No, there's really no restriction. We're looking at, this is a voluntary. We have developers that want to come in that only wish to develop senior type housing. They do not wish to develop all age housing. There's no restriction. We're not imposing this on anybody. This is a bylaw that allows a developer, if they wish to come in to the town and develop senior housing, we're not forcing it on them. This is the process that we've set up and the guidelines to look at doing it.
I'm sorry, maybe I misunderstood. I think that was your first question when you said that his senior housing only will be handled by the town housing authority.
No, I'm sorry. In our zoning bylaw now, senior housing is only allowed, our current bylaw only allows for the development of senior housing by the housing authority. This bylaw will remove that restriction, and it will allow private developers or anyone to look at developing senior housing. Right now, we're pretty restrictive in that multifamily senior housing can only be developed by the housing authority. So we're removing that restriction, and we're actually letting the free market and developers come in to look at developing it as well.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that Stoughton, so we need private, sector, and we need housing, and we need property taxes, we need, money coming into the budget. We're not talking about subsidized, correct?
No, this is private developers.
Okay,
Private developers, not the town.
thank you very much.
Any other questions from the committee members? Anybody else online? How about members of the audience who are here in person? Anybody have any questions, comments? Okay, seeing none, I'll move on to the next article. Article 33, zoning map amendments. Is that you again, Philip?
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Rock. This is the Bill Ross show tonight. Predominantly, I've probably 3 to 4 items on this agenda. So the planning board is looking at doing, as you know, when I got here 3 years ago, we started cleaning up the zoning map. So and I see Tracy shaking her head. We've got a lot of cleanup, and we're taking it small bites at a time. This is, we're proposing on rezoning. It's two different amendments. One is at 2121 Central Avenue. It's the assisted living or senior facility. And right in front of it is a small little strip shopping center. Well, the general business zone of that shopping center goes into the parking lot of the seniors housing. So do you have the map in front of you at all?
I would say not.
Huh?
Is it the
Probably
pink map?
not.
Yes, the pink map. So we're removing the general business zone and we're just putting it back to the property line of the shopping center and removing it out of the parking lot, essentially, of the senior facility. So that's what that one is. Small rezone area. The second one is at let me read it. It's at 600 and 614 Park Street. That's Malpe. Malpe is at 614. It is there. Those properties are zoned industrial, and all the way over to the, if you look on to the east property line, it's about 20 feet of residential. So all we're looking at doing is moving the industrial line over to the property line. So because it's an industrial, they're both industrial businesses. So we're just moving that line over, and that's on the map that's predominantly blue. And it's literally, we're just moving it to the property line where it actually should be. So these are just small map cleanups right now.
And for those who are looking at this, it's in the ATM supporting information on pages 398 and 399. If you want to scroll right down to those.
So if folks could identify themselves prior to questions, I'd appreciate it. So.
And I'm here to answer any questions, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, are there any other questions from the committee members? Anybody else online? How about
I just have one question about the senior parking being taken away, right? And giving to the
We're only moving the zoning line. We're not taking the parking away. We're moving the zoning line. The zoning line covers their parking lot. We're just moving the zoning line back to the property line of the strip commercial center in front of it. Map cleanup.
Okay.
And that was Marina,
Thank-
right?
Thank you.
Okay. How about the folks present? Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to the next article. Article 34, bylaw amendments, licenses and permits, and municipal charges lien. Who's speaking for that?
Mr. Chairman, that would be me.
Okay, then you're on a
So-
roll. Let's go.
The town is, we're looking at to amend the general bylaw, chapter 124, and 125 municipal charges and liens. This serves two purposes. One is the part of the bylaw amendment brings the bylaw up to current references for Mass General law. So that's cleaning up a house cleaning issue. So the current bylaw allows the select board or any permitting or licensing authority to deny applications for refusing to pay local taxes, fees, assessments, and betterments. One of the things that we're adding to this is looking at adding the section, and it's towards the end, is adding the non-criminal disposition. It's the last thing. Ticket issued under permit pursuant to General Law, Chapter 40, 21D. That's code enforcement. Currently, the process that the Code Enforcement Division has to use is they have to do a site visit. They explain the circumstances of the violation. Then they send in a letter to rectify it. Then they have to follow up on inspections and phone calls. Then they have to do a second letter and a warning, and then a third letter. And after the third letter is when they can do a fine. If you don't pay the fine, then it's continued additional fines and letters. And then under the current system, we have to go to either small claims or land or housing court to enforce the fines for code enforcement. It's very time consuming and it's very costly. First of all, court time is not considered part of our standard contract with our town attorney. Like I can call our town attorney now, talk about our zoning, review zoning bylaws, that's in the contract. Going to court like this is not. So this new amendment would pass is we would bypass having to do a filing at small claims or municipal court, and we could just use this chapter to look at putting the fines like we would non-payment of water bills or any taxes or delinquent fees. The other thing that works well with this is that adding the code enforcement is we can look at once you add the code enforcement to this article is that if they wanted to come in and do any future improvements, such as apply to the planning board or the Board of Appeals or a building permit, if they have any outstanding liens, fines, or fees, they would not be able to pull that until they rectify the thing. So it's giving us one more tool in our toolbox. It's actually going to streamline code enforcement and give them a valuable tool to be able to better, more quickly and more efficiently to look at fines and getting things improved. And I'm available for any questions.
Yeah, I actually have a question. Now, is this in line with what other municipalities do?
Yes, a lot of municipalities. I know that I've worked in several municipalities. I know that we had this in Fairhaven, and we had this in Taunton and also in Fall River. So this is in line. You know, the cost and the time, and a lot of the municipalities are doing this because the cost and time of having to go to small claims or housing court, it just, you can't get, you know, it takes code enforcement and it kind of, it hamstrings them. This will help us with code enforcement and help us, you know, get better code enforcement because they'll have to look at responding more quickly.
Okay, let's open it up to questions from the committee members. Anybody?
I have a question, if I may.
That's Marina, right?
Marina, yes. Marina Ryans, Precinct 7.
Okay.
Yes, so my question is, it says in the article that you or select board or authorities have the right to revoke previously given licenses or permits or any sort of documents is if the property has delinquency. Am I correct on that?
Yes, that's already in the bylaw. so that we're not changing that. So, I'll take an example. If a, like currently, I'll use a planning board example. If a applicant applies for a site plan review or special permit and they owe taxes, the planning board, because of this thing, can will not issue a site plan review or a special permit until the taxes are paid. This happens, the one time I know it happens with us, it's usually water bill. They haven't paid their water bill. I know that the last 4 times when there were it's usually water bill or when something's sold, the final taxes haven't been paid. But we currently operate and use this now. This just allows for adding the code enforcement to this, and it helps better serve the town.
Yes, so my question is, this doesn't apply to any existing permits or licenses or anything that the property or the owner already has?
Well,
Only new.
It can, like, for like restaurant license and auto dealer license, these annual license that the select board issues, all the taxes and fees have to be paid prior to issuance. So these are like yearly, when they're up for renewal is when this would take into effect and that's just another example.
Okay, thank you.
Any other committee members? Members of the general audience? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to the next article. Article 35, adopt specified energy code, and our esteemed committee member David Billow will speak to that. You have the floor.
You can go to the table, probably be better. I'm just seeing if I can bring this up for you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Dave Billow, Precinct 4, member of the Municipal Regulations Committee, and also chair of the Energy and Sustainability Committee. And I just have a brief slideshow to talk about what Article 35 is all about. And that should be up in a minute.
Give me a moment. Yeah, I haven't done this in a while. Sorry, Dave.
No, no problem. Appreciate your support.
Let's see if I can. Probably bring it up here, Town Hall. All right, why don't we do that?
Great. Can you do the full screen? I mean, that works too, so that's fine. Oh, when you slideshow at the top, and in the middle, and yep, and from beginning. That might make it a little more viewable. There we go. Great. Thanks, Bob. So next slide. After all that, so again, just a very quick summary of what Article 35 is about. So in 2015, Stoughton became a green community. And as a result of becoming a green community, Stoughton became eligible for annual grants that was money that could be used for building improvements, specifically for energy conservation and emissions reductions. And over the past 10 years, through the efforts of several members within town, the town has gotten over $1.4 million of energy efficiency and building improvement grants, cash money from the state. It's set up by the Department of Energy Resources, and it's been a very, very successful program. The designation as a green community was, at the time, supported by and put forward by the Select Board, by the DPW, and by the committee. And I will just point out there's several members of the committee with us here tonight to show support for Article 35. So being a green community for Stoughton has been very successful. It's kind of been going on behind the scenes. We've gotten over $1 million, $1.4 million. And another thing I wanted to point out is that not only was that over $1 million used to increase the efficiency of buildings, but once the money was spent, then annual savings accrued to the town through reduced energy use. And I know the HVAC system was upgraded here in Town Hall, the controls, the computerized controls of the system. So, to the extent we're comfortable here tonight, that's partly due to Stoughton being a green community. Next slide. So the Department of Energy Resources, through the success of the Green Communities Program, has about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, created a new program, kind of an upgrade to those towns that are green communities. It's called the Climate Leader Community. And on the left-hand side, you can see the criteria for a green community that Stoughton met back in 2015. On the right-hand side, are the criteria for becoming a climate leader community. And just through the good efforts of the town we already meet about 2.5 of the criteria to become a climate leader community. So we're already, just from being a conscientious and diligent town, we're already essentially halfway there. And next slide. So you can see that Article 35, now we're coming into it, is focused on Stoughton adopting an upgraded building code called the Specialized Energy Code. Next slide. And just to, again, set the stage a little bit, the green that you see here on the map are all the towns that are green communities. It's about 300. So pretty much, of the 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts, almost all of us have become green communities. Like I said, very successful program. The towns outlined in yellow are towns that have already become the climate leader communities. There's 28 right now. And just next slide. Next slide. Oh, anything behind that? No, okay, back up one more. I think we're getting there. Yeah, just maybe a back arrow, a couple. All right, now can we try forward again? All right, well, that slide was showing, and I can actually just read this off, towns in our neighborhood, in the neighborhood of Stoughton, that have already voted in on the Specialized Energy Code. So that's what we're asking the town to do at this town meeting. So it includes Sharon, right next door, Norwood, Dedham, Milton, Hingham, Natick, Framingham. So towns that are, different, very differing sizes, economics, towns that are like Stoughton, in many ways. And then the last thing, which, I apologize, that slide's not there, but the kicker really for us is that once you become a climate leader community, not only are you eligible for the typically about $100,000 a year, which is where we got the 1.4 million, but you're eligible for a $1 million grant to be put toward upgrading buildings for energy and conservation. So you do have to apply for it. 4 towns have already become climate leader communities and have applied for the grants. It's a very new program. Essentially, once you become a climate leader community, you can expect to get that $1 million grant. So this is just a way to for the state to recognize the success of the Green Communities Program. They're bringing it up a step more. Stoughton wants to go along with that. Right now, there are 58 towns that have adopted the specialized code, which is what we're asking the town to do at this town meeting. And of those, 28 have leveraged that to become climate leader communities. And then again, of those, 4 have applied for the $1 million. So that's the path that we want to be on. It's a very similar path to being a green community. And I'll just wrap up by who's in favor of this in the town. The town manager is. We've met with him. He's expressed his support for that. The committee did have a presentation in front of the select board right here in this room back in November. The select board voted unanimously to support the town becoming a climate leader community. And also, we do have a part-time, very sophisticated, very energetic energy manager in town, Kathy Stanley. She works very closely with the DPW and other departments. She's in favor of this as well. So next slide. Oh, okay, there we go. There's the $1 million grant. We already talked about that. And next slide. Bringing it home. So just asking the committee here and then ultimately town meeting to support the town's continued success in obtaining grant money. And that's just going to go toward energy conservation, improved buildings like we see here, and lowered emissions and pollution. And just kind of going off script a little bit, was at the train station, the soft opening 2 weekends ago. Stoughton really seems like it's on a roll. This is a way, I think, to keep that going. And yeah, ask for your vote in favor of this article. Thank you. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, David. Are there any questions from members of the community? I mean, committee. Okay, state your name.
All right, Joe Piana, Precinct 6. Is that a one-time grant, or is that every year?
The $1 million is a one-time grant, but we would still be a green community, so that funding would still be available. I don't think that Department of Energy Resources has planned beyond the $1 million grant, but you know, whatever did happen after that, we obviously would be well positioned to be in the group that did have that designation.
So is that like a guarantee that we'd get that?
It's not 100% guaranteed, no, but I mean, that's something that people have asked before. You know, we're eligible, definitely, that's the wording, we're eligible for the grant. But we have met face-to-face several times and online with our regional coordinator for this program. And it's set up to get the grants to the town. So it's not, you know, a limited pot of money where people are fighting for it. It's the state does want towns to move forward. So, you know, obviously can't, you know, not anything's really 100% guaranteed, but that is the intent. And I feel like the success of the grants we've gotten before kind of shows that that's, you know, we would have a pretty good chance.
Okay, thank you.
Expectation, I should say. Thank you.
David, I have a quick question. John
Sure.
Rock, Precinct 3. So going for this designation, does it require us to make any changes or just continue what we've been doing to conserve and, you know, reduce pollution, et cetera?
So supporting the article and a yes vote on the article would change and upgrade the process to get a building permit in town. So basically what it comes down to, and I'm sorry that slide isn't here, but there's 4 things. One is that you either have to have the building heated by electricity, which would be like the mini splits that are becoming more popular, or if it's not heated by electricity, the wiring for electric heating has to be put into the building. Then you can still have fossil fuel you know, buildings, so you can have oil and gas if you want. If you do that, though, you have to put solar on the roof. And then large buildings, houses over 4,000 square feet, so pretty big for us, or multifamily homes, essentially do have to be all electric. So it really has minimal impact because, you know, it only applies to people getting building permits. And the strictness of it has a threshold that splits at 4,000 square feet. And that's 4,000 square feet of heated or cooled space. So like an unheated basement wouldn't count toward that. So if that answers your question.
I think so. So would it apply to most new residential units? Say somebody's building a
Yes.
house or... Okay, so it's a bit of a change, right?
Yeah, we would consider it an upgrade to the building permit process.
But you can still heat your house with gas or the oil.
Yes.
You just have to have solar panels.
Right, yep, that's kind of boiling down to what that would mean. But yeah, absolutely, you can still have oil and gas. You just have to make it so that converting to electricity, you get that little bit of head start.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any questions from the folks online?
Yes,
Who's that?
Tracy.
Tracy, okay. Hi,
So,
Tracy.
precinct 5. Just one question on, do we have any companies that provide alternative energy generating facilities as stated here on page 406 that may be interested in coming into Stoughton?
Do you mean like generating companies or equipment suppliers? I'm not sure.
Companies that would provide alternative energy specifically.
Well, this article only applies to building permits. So if you're a builder, if you're already dealing with the stretch code in most of your, clients' towns, and you're going to start to deal with the specialized codes, as we can see, because neighboring towns are already obtaining that. So you can meet the requirements of the building code in any fashion that you want. So it wouldn't require any business to be in town, if that answers your question.
Not specifically. For instance, if a company who creates solar farms wants to come in, would that be considered as part of this for permitting?
It's only residential building permits. So
Okay.
whatever rules apply now, this would not have any impact on that.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Any other questions from the committee?
Yes, Marina, I believe this is something new, and I can tell that a lot of people confused, and I'm confused as well, and we may need more time to sort this through and come up with more questions to understand deeper. So at this time, I would like to propose to table this article for further to receive more information and to give us a chance to think about all this, whether it's appropriate for Stoughton, and come up with more questions. So I'd like to table this article. Who can second me?
I'm going to have to refer to town moderator on that one.
I could have one comment, possibly?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Dave.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So we do have an April 9th informational session scheduled that will be at the community room in the library. So whether or not that impacts what happens tonight. But we understand people want to know about this. We want to be able to provide information, but we've made that reservation for the community room with the library for April 9th, 7 p.m. And that will be that information will come from a representative of the Department of Energy Resources and a code compliance specialist who can answer any questions that anybody has. So we know it's a little new. One other thing that I thought maybe would be worth mentioning is, as I said, 58 towns have adopted this already. This gets adopted during town meeting season, so there's going to be almost certainly more towns. Right now, 32% of the population is covered by a specialized energy code. So this, in another 2 months after most towns have had their town meetings, it's going to be even more. So it is new, but we're not leading the pack here or trying anything experimental. We're just trying to have Stoughton move with the people that are going to get the best advantage of adopting it now.
Thank you very much. I think that is fair and that makes sense to postpone. I would like to attend that meeting in April and get some more information and education. And I believe I get the support from members of the committee to postpone this article for the further discussion. Thank you.
There was no second. This is the moderator. There was no second on that motion. And plus, there's a public hearing.
Who can second my proposal?
I will.
Can you?
Is there a second?
Yeah, Tracy.
Thank
Okay.
you.
But I recommend that we continue with the public hearing.
Right.
To postpone it, we just don't have time to have another public hearing. So I'm going to have to rule that motion out of order because we have to go forward. It will be discussed at the town meeting coming up, and also at the forum. You're going to have a public forum. So we don't know, I've never had a situation where we postpone an article before the public hearing. So,
Okay, well, I'll go with Bob's ruling on this. At the end of the meeting, when we take a vote, you can make your objections known. I guess you could abstain and state your reason. So is that acceptable?
Actually, I propose to table it. So it's not just
Well-
postponing, but table it at this time.
I don't think we're going to do that, so, but your objection is so noted. How about from members of the audience? Do you have any comments? State your name and your precinct and then your comments.
Elliot Hanson, Precinct 1. What's the time frame for eliminating the use of fossil fuel in the buildings and stuff?
That does not come up at all in this.
sorry?
There's no time frame for eliminating fossil fuels. The purpose of the code is to facilitate the use of electric power, but it's not to eliminate fossil fuels at all.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments? Yes, sir. State your name and precinct, and let's hear what you have to say.
Patrick Comerford, Precinct 1. Is this strictly for residential?
Nope, it's for any building permits.
So any building permits, commercial, every building?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, that was my question.
Yep.
what was your last name? I didn't catch it.
Comerford.
Could you spell that for the secretary?
Yep. Comerford. Precinct 1.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, we're going to move on to Article 37. Petitioned article, charter change for town council to review petition articles. Who wants to speak on that?
That's me. I'm here, Roberta Harback. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Could you repeat
Hi,
your name?
everybody. Roberta Harback, Precinct 7.
Okay.
I'm moving this, I'm asking for your support on this because in the past, there have been petition warrant articles, and unfortunately, town council does not have to assist in the writing of your motion. And I know in the past that there have been motions that have passed town meeting and they have not, there's been issues that had to be reworded. So for the few minutes of town council's time, I think everybody should get a fair shake, whether you're a petitioned warrant article or whether you're a select board or planning board, you should have the same rights. And make sure that your article, the few that are done every year, are written properly. And I think that's it.
Okay. Are there any comments or questions from members of this committee?
Hi, this is Phil Connors, Precinct 2. My question is just about the wording of the article. So it says town council will legally review all petition warrant articles, but
Correct.
But review, would the town council be responsible for providing like a redlined review of the law or suggested something else, or like what? I'm concerned that the wording doesn't necessarily get you what you want if they just review it. I'm not sure they need to then comment on it.
No, it wouldn't be a comment. You're asking a perfect question that validates why I want this. If, I don't want the town council to say my article's right, wrong, or indifferent. It would go to town meeting and then ultimately to the voters because mine happens to be a charter change. But if I write the word "the" instead of the word "there," and it goes to, and you guys say, good, it's all good to go, and then it goes to the Attorney General's office and they say, this is worded incorrectly, then it's going to get bounced back. I know we had that issue with the sunset clause, and I think even the plastic bag article too had some issues. So I just want town council not to do my work for me, but make sure me or whomever, I know there's another petition article behind me. These two articles, the motion needs to be written properly. And town council reviews all the motions right now for every single article. They can look at mine or somebody else's, and we're talking a few minutes of their time. I'm not an attorney. I don't know how to write things properly. And I don't know why we're not afforded that same luxury as any other board or commission on the town. Thank you. Hope that answered you.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I guess my only concern is that just the way that this specific article is written might not get what you're asking for. I think it's a really good idea because I think you're right that it just kind of wastes everyone's time if you do your best to write a motion and it's just hard to do it because none of us, well, some of us are lawyers, but not you and I. But I want to make sure that you would get what you want from this. And
That's what I'm hoping too. But unfortunately, even if it passes, if I write it wrong, then I write it wrong. So
yeah,
it's for the future.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the committee? How about from the audience at large? I have a quick question. So petition articles are supposed to be submitted 48 hours in advance. Is that correct, Bob?
Petition articles are supposed to be, for the annual town meeting, it's supposed to be submitted with at least 10 signatures by voters by December 31st.
Okay.
Or the date,
All right.
established by the town clerk's office.
Okay.
And there's some, let me just add that there are some special consideration for a special town meeting articles.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay. What, would this apply to the special town meeting articles as well? And how would that work?
It would apply to anybody who has a petition warrant article. So, I mean, I got the signatures. If I had to do a special, I'd have to get 100. That part's irrelevant. The part that concerns me is what I just wrote. Is it legal? Is it appropriate? Town council could say, no, you wrote that wrong and your motion is wrong. I just want it to be looked at just like every other article that has come before you.
Got it. Is it logistically doable, Bob?
Is it logistically doable? Well, as the moderator, it goes through the process as being, inserted. Each petition article gets inserted automatically by the select board. I believe the petitioner here is just asking to make sure it gets reviewed, I guess, for the correct legal verbiage.
Correct, thank you, yes.
Okay. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I apologize
That's
for
fine.
that. But reading this, I think, there's been cases in the past that,
Right.
we had some problems
Right.
with the verbiage. So I would think that this petition is just looking for some type of legal review of the verbiage
Okay. I mean,
before it gets all the way into town, before the town meeting.
okay. And who's going to submit it to the town council?
I would assume the petitioner, if they meet the qualifications, depending upon which town meeting, an annual or a special requires at least 100 signatures of voters. It gets inserted into the warrant, and then as other articles are reviewed by town council, like submitted by the select board or other committees, I would assume, I can't speak for the town council, they would recommend some changes on the floor of town meeting. That's what I would assume. Because sometimes, the article gets written, put in, and then the motion will get changed at town meeting, on the town meeting floor, or during the process of writing the motion. You know, right now, let me take it back a moment. Annual town meeting warrant has been emailed to all the members here, the committee members. There are no motions in that warrant right now. So at some point in time, town council and the select board and other members of the town write the motions, and they get incorporated into the final product before it gets mailed out to all the town meeting reps. And we've seen on the town meeting floor that a motion can be amended or modified, and it gets put on the virtual table, and as long as we get the motions on the floor, it can get passed, either voted up or voted down, I guess would be the best way to say it. So I think it'd be just part of the process. If it's adopted by this committee and also adopted, you know, if it's approved all the way through by town meeting.
Okay, makes sense to me. All right, any other comments? Thank you. So now let's move on.
Thank you.
So that's,
Yeah, we need the public input. Any questions from the public on this?
excuse me?
Did you ask the public for any questions?
I think I did, but any public comments or questions?
All right, I might have missed my spot there. I'm sorry. Apologize to the chair.
All right, seeing none, do we just move on to the special, or do we want to close?
No, let's move on to, can you ask for a motion to open the public hearing for the special town meeting article?
Okay, can I have a motion to open the hearing for the,
Public hearing.
this special, the hearing for this, the special town meeting hearing? Any second?
Second.
All right, so I'll go through the roll call. Michael?
Aye.
Philip?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
Tracy?
Aye.
Marina?
Abstain.
Okay. John Rock? Aye. Okay, so the special town meeting is now open, and we're here to consider Article 23. And I think the presenter is Mr. Juan Fox. If you'll come forward, identify yourself and your precinct, and
Mr. Chair, can I just
give the
ask,
presentation.
who seconded the motion to open the public hearing? Joe Piana?
I made the motion,
Mike Moore? Okay, thank you. I was just making some notes.
and I'm here. And I'm here, too.
Thank you. Okay, you have the
Everybody
floor,
go?
Mr. Fox.
Thank you. Juan Fox, Precinct 1. This article is to change a problematic zoning in our neighborhood from general business to RC, which is residential. And to paint a picture of the situation, this, and apologies to the people who are online, I didn't know I had to provide some of the audio visual, so only the people here can see the picture of the map of the zoning for a neighborhood. But for those sitting here, if you look at the map, you'll see a little square in the middle of the map that says GB, and that's it. And it's a strange little zoning, in my consideration, aberration there. And it's been there for many years. Talking to one of the Hanson family members, it could have been there since the 60s. So it's been there for a very long time, but not much done with it. There's a small store and there's a dentist down the street, but it's not much. So it was never been a problem until about 11 years ago, and they wanted to put in an apartment building, a very large apartment building, a senior citizens apartment building, and they needed it to change it from GB to RC to do that. And the neighborhood is very much against having apartments stuffed right there in the middle of their homes. And they fought against it, and they fought against changing that GB to RC, and they prevailed. So if the question comes up is why didn't we do it when you had the chance? That was the reason, because if we did that, we would have had a large apartment building stuffed right in the middle of our neighborhood, which we despise. Run forward until last year, a developer came up with a plan to put an apartment building on a 1.2 acre piece of land right up against Pleasant Street. And you wonder, how can they possibly put a 43-unit apartment building on a 1.2 acre land? And how is that possible? If it's not zoned multifamily, because multifamily wouldn't allow that. They would have like 3 or 4 acres required. They have a lot of open space, a lot of, far away from neighbors. But no, they have this. They have this because they chose it to be a definition of this as multi-use. As it would be downtown, where you have apartments and you have a store down below. In those buildings, they don't have to be, any distance between. They can be right next to each other, so it's not a problem there. But to apply that to our neighborhood, it's stuffing a 43-unit apartment building on a 1.2 acre piece of land right next to people's homes, literally right next to their homes. And we all felt that this was an aberration, it was a misuse of our zoning laws, so we fought it. And we fought it all last year, and on many different levels, but eventually we lost. The planning board eventually voted for it, and I think it's an incorrect decision, but they voted for it, so now we're stuck with it. And we're stuck with the flawed multi-use definition for our general business. So based on that and the fact that there are other properties on this GB, we're concerned that it would happen again. Some other piece of property would turn into they'll be bought, and another apartment building jammed on there. And it's obviously been shown that we couldn't do anything about it because this other apartment building, which has no business being there, was approved. So this would be approved too. So we're having more of these things in our. So this is, for us, we're trying to mitigate it for just our neighborhood at least, and to change the GB to RC. Now, any issues related with taxes, there's no issues with taxes. The majority of the property, the old Hanson property, has not been bought by Grace Church. It's a church. They don't pay any property taxes, so it doesn't matter what it is. And it doesn't matter what it is because they can do whatever they want. That's what the churches are allowed to do in this town. So that's taken off the board. And that's all that's left is the people who live along that street. So we're petitioning to have that GB changed back to the RC that it surrounds it. I mean, it's a small aberration compared to the amount of RC that's around it, make it uniform. And to prevent that from happening, and may in the future, possibly in the fall, a special town meeting will address the definition of a multi-use that got to be put it there, and which I hope. But until that, we need to stop any possibility of making the travel along Pleasant Street worse, our neighborhoods, a situation worse with water. And this is the plan. So, any questions?
Any questions from members of the committee? How about the folks online?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Mr. Rock. This is Phil Connors, Precinct 2. Mr. Fox, did you state at the beginning that when the potential senior development almost went in 11 years ago, that it was zoned RC and switched, or was, I think I just missed that part, if you could have.
No. It's Calamar, and it was, they required it to be RC if they wanted to be able to put the building in, and at the time. And
so does that mean then that if it was RC a similarly large apartment building could still go in?
No, because there was under different rules for how it was supposed to be put in. Not like this, which is essentially going in with no rules, that particular 576 Pleasant Street. And they couldn't do it with GB. So the neighborhood decided that they're going to fight the change from GB to RC based on that, because we didn't want to have an apartment building there. And we were successful. And then and that's the reason why it didn't go from GB to RC back then. But now we don't have to worry about that, because Grace Church owns that property. And whether they want to put that in there or not, we can't say boo about it. So it's not going to be an issue. We're just doing this to prevent all the other properties that are in that that zone from having that same thing happen to it.
Thank you.
Sure, go ahead. Dave?
Yeah, Dave Bello. So just to be clear, so the language, the text is just to change, the text is just to change each of the lots within the current GB to residential. So it's kind of, each one's dealt with separately.
Yeah, so all that wording there is to define all the lots that are touched upon by that GB zoning block. So if you zoomed in and saw them, you see each of those areas, have some portion of their property line in that zone. So this was to describe, because when you're doing it, you're changing all the different properties from GB to RC.
Okay. And then, so you said there's a couple of businesses there now, like the cleaning company office.
Nothing would happen to them. They're like grandfathered. They could still be businesses there. And including that 576, the apartment building, that's already been approved by the planning board, so we really can't do anything about it. These things will still happen, but to put in a new business or entity back there, this would prevent that from happening. A similar situation was which 576 had done.
Okay, thank you.
So, Mr. Fox, the proposed apartment building, that's a done deal?
As far as I know, it's a done deal. The planning board a few weeks ago voted for it. So assume that they have the right now to build it. Now, if they choose not to build it, fine. They've got 2 years to I believe it's 2 years to build it. But the fact that we're changing the zoning is, I don't believe now that changes the planning board's decision. They can't go back and rechange. They'll just have to just be grandfathered in, essentially.
So this is for any future uses?
Any future. There's other properties along there that could happen to, where they could be purchased, and then an apartment building could be put in there. And all they have to do is put a little bit of a postage, a fig leaf of a retail in front of it. It could be as small as a closet with an ATM in it. And that would be retail, and that would make that mixed use. And that means they could put that in wherever they want to, no matter how close it is to their neighbors' homes, no matter how much frontage they have, which they need larger for that. It just gives them free rein to put that in, and we can't say anything about it.
Thank you. That's pretty clear.
Yeah, and I mean, eventually we're going to have to address this flaw in our zoning laws for this, because this has happened before, and it will happen again unless something's done. And I'm hoping that a special town meeting in the fall will address that. We'll have an article available to modify the wording so that kind of thing can't happen again.
Thank you. Dave, you have another question?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a reasonable request from the residents. Could we ask the town planner if there's any issues on moving forward in this fashion?
Mr. Town Planner, did you hear the question?
Yes, I did. I knew I should stay on the line. Some of the changing the zoning from general business to RC, Mr. Fox was correct. The mixed-use building that just got approved, the 43 units on, I think it's about an acre and a half, that decision has been approved. They have 2 years in order to construct it. And so they have to pull a building permit to vest. The other commercial businesses, I believe there's the dentist office. Whatever is in effect at the time would be considered legal, existing non-conforming, so they could continue to operate. The dentist can continue to operate. They could actually, through the ZBA, if he needed to modify or expand, or within reason, he could look at doing that. And the zoning bylaw also allows to, let's say the dentist's office wanted to sell to a real estate office. The zoning board of appeals, through a special permit, can change from one non-conforming use to another that is no more objectionable. So that's what that can look at doing. The planning board will be holding a public hearing on this on Thursday night, 6:30, and in the Fitzpatrick room. So the planning board has not weighed in on this project yet.
Okay, thank you. There's probably people here that want to speak to it, so Elliot, why don't you come forward, state your name, precinct?
Just for clarification, this is the public now, right?
Excuse me?
This is the public that you turned it over to?
Yes,
Okay,
it is.
just for the
Yes.
record. Thank you.
Elliot Hanson, Precinct 1. Actually, this particular property is what I used to live on, or I'm living on right now. It was zoned originally general business, that little piece of it, and it extended over to 600 Pleasant Street, because my brother and my father owned 600, and so this was a courtesy to make it general business. But this particular plot where I live now, and all the houses from his house and all the way up to the corner, there has never been a business there. When the petitioner wanted to change it or put the apartment building in there, he had made the statement that I ran a retail plumbing sales business. There's never been a business on that piece of land that I live on right now. There's never been a business. There was a greenhouse, which is agricultural, and there was horses way back when. But there's never been a retail business there. It's always been a resident. And it's time to keep it as a residential and not put a 43 unit apartment in the middle of a residential center and then having some fig leaf of retail business there. Could be somebody that sells pot or whatever. It's just, it should be continued to be residential.
Thank you. So you're speaking in favor of the petition?
Yes.
Petitioner. Okay, thanks.
Any questions?
Okay, anybody else in the general public? Come on up, state your name and precinct, and give your opinion.
Hi, Becca Markson, Precinct 7. I think I was on Muni Regs when this came 2018, 2017, and I don't know if you were on it, Dave. We initially had requested this as a change, and it was actually voted down by the abutters at the time. And then the secondary article that came forth was for the CPC to spend $1 million to buy the land, which also got voted down. So this was one of the concerns we had years ago on Muni Regs, to change it to residentials and to allow only like single-family houses, because Pleasant Street just could not sustain more cars. If you ever try to drive that street, it's ridiculous during rush hour, or really any time. So, but I think I just want to point out, I'll most likely vote for this at town meeting, but we wanted to make a change years ago, and the neighbors didn't want the change at the time. I'm happy that the abutters want the change now, but if we had done this back then, I don't think we'd be in the position we are today with that building going in. Not really a question.
Can I make a statement?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
What I was saying before is that it was like two different things. Is one, they were going to put in a big building there, that Calamar. And we didn't want that. And the way to stop that was to prevent it from going from GB to RC. And that's why it was fought against. Now we've got the opposite situation coming on, where we have GB, and they're going to put an apartment building in there. They did put an apartment building there. And the only way we can stop it is by changing or stop future ones, is to change from GB to RC. And because we're not concerned about what's going on in the back, where they were going to put that Calamar in there, because it's now owned by Grace Church. So it's kind of a interesting little situation.
Okay. So have they made any traffic studies or anything?
Yeah, and they did, in our opinion, they did the minimal traffic study that did not require them to study over a period of time and period of days. They only did a short period of time. And their traffic study said that the traffic only backs up to like between Oakland and Low. And we know on a daily basis it backed up all the way to Pine, which is over a half a mile. They didn't include that in their study. And there was flaws throughout the study, which we had a gentleman who lives on our street, went through it, and who is a traffic engineer. And he said they neglected things and they did incorrect things, but we couldn't get that to be redone. So they went with what they had, and which we felt was greatly flawed.
And so the traffic from the apartment building will empty out into Pleasant Street?
Right onto Pleasant Street with a stop sign. I mean, they'll just...
just a stop sign?
Just a stop sign. That's what's in the plan. And 43 units, you could have up to, 43, maybe 86 cars.
Right.
In the morning coming out in and out of there into traffic. I mean, it may be a little tough for them to make a right turn, in the traffic, but if they make a left turn through traffic and people are zipping down the other way, we're feeling that there's going to see a lot of T-bone accidents there.
It's a nightmare already, so.
It's a nightmare already, and with anything additional out there is going to make it even more of a nightmare. We got other projects we're complaining about with the logistics park, 250 trucks a day. A lot of them are going to be coming up Pleasant Street. We've got now they're talking about putting in the trash. I forget the name of the thing. They got 800 tons a day trash for construction waste. But now they want to put municipal waste, 150 tons of municipal waste. And where are those trucks going to be coming through? So that's additional garbage trucks from other towns coming through. We've got the church. Who knows what's going to happen with the church, with the traffic? They want a parking lot that will have, at least when we're saying that stuff that I saw was like 800 cars, spots. And it's an amazing amount of traffic. It's a huge parking lot. That's bigger than the Stop and Shop parking lot by a bunch. And then who knows what's going to happen with whatever is happening with the Sinai Hospital, which they just tore down. And the rumor is that they want to put apartments, but no plan is put forth, so we don't know what they're going to do. So traffic in Precinct 1 is a nightmare now. It's going to be the worst nightmare you ever had within a few years from all these different things coming online. Anything that puts more traffic on there,
right?
We will fight to the death, because it's just our homes we can't get out of our driveways.
Right. I 100% sympathize with you. So, okay. Well, thank you very much. Are there any other comments? Elliot, you want to come up again?
Elliot Hanson, Precinct 1. One thing that I had forgot to mention, with this 43-unit apartments, they're reducing the amount of parking that is required by zoning by having this thing. If it's left as residential, you won't have a parking problem. But I get what they're going to do where my house is that's gonna turn into a road and a parking lot for the people on both sides. The cleaning place, Al's, I think it was, that used to be that's at 602 Pleasant Street. That property has been sold to the Grace Church, so that business won't be there anymore. So, just sort of clarify that a little bit.
Yeah, the assumption is that they're going to raise all the homes there between that property, 576, and I forgot to share his property, but the house right next to the store, and the entire width of that, all the way back in the woods, will be parking lot. And if it's the only way you're going to fit 800-car parking lot in there. Literally, as to see the comparison, the Stop and Shop parking lot, and that includes all the stuff for the bank and the weird Chinese restaurant, is 498. I counted them. I spent one night out there counting them, and they want, what I've been shown, they want 800. Now they may change that. I don't know, but that's what the word is. So yeah, we're all losing our minds in Precinct 1 over this stuff. We live in a neighborhood.
Right.
It's a street. It's a busy street, but it's a neighborhood of single-family homes, right down, and it's been that way for generations, for hundreds of years or so. It's been single-family homes on there, and suddenly we feel that our precinct, at least that area of the precinct, is turning into an industrial zone.
Right.
Without without our say so. They're just doing it, and making our home, our life there, much more difficult. And so that's why we're fighting, and we will continue to fight.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman? Mr.
Yes.
Chairman, this is Town Planner Bill Roth.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to correct the previous speaker. The mixed-use building, they did request a reduction in parking. However, through the public hearing process, the planning board, the neighbors opposed it. The developer had the room, and he actually removed that special permit request. He put in and was approved for the amount of parking that's required per code. So I just needed to say that it was initially requested to have a reduced parking, but he did not. I just wanted to correct that. And we only had a pre-app on the church that Mr. Fox keeps on referencing. We do not know when that is going to be submitted, but it is going to look like it's going to have a very large sanctuary in the range of 2,000 seats is what was in the original pre-app. But that's not before municipal regs. I will let you know that churches, schools, educational institutions are under what they call the Dover Amendment. The planning board cannot deny them because of the use, and the planning board has actually limited site plan review for under state law. So, but I do not know when they're going to submit for site plan review, but I anticipate that probably sometime this summer.
Thank you. I think, yeah, okay. I just hope the neighbors' concerns and traffic concerns are high on the list.
They are. So but we have very, very limited review for a church. So,
Okay, well, I understand. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Fox.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. With that, are there any other matters?
Is there anybody else from the public? Are the public all set? I guess they are all set. Oh,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay, with that, make a motion to close the public, I'll ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
Both, if you can say both public hearings, the.
Yeah, both
annual-
public hearings.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, let's take a roll call. David?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Joe?
Aye.
Philip?
Aye.
Marina?
Aye.
Tracy?
Aye.
John? Aye. Okay, so the public hearing is hereby closed, and we're open, I think, for discussion on the articles, and we'll take a vote on them. So let me go through the articles one by one. So for Article 32, the proposed senior housing development, is there any discussion on that?
This is Bill Connors. I would move to approve and recommend to town meeting.
Okay, is there a second on that?
Second.
Okay, well, we'll take a, Philip made a motion to approve.
Phil Connors. Phil Connors.
And Dave Billow seconded it. So we'll take the roll call vote and say yay or nay. So Michael Moore,
Aye.
Philip Connors,
Aye.
David Billow,
Aye.
Tracy Sloan,
Aye.
Maggio, Joseph,
Aye.
Marina,
Aye.
and John Rock, aye. Okay, the motion passes unanimously. Now we'll go to Article 33. Can I hear a motion on that? Zoning map amendments, I think they were fairly minor. Cleanups. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Yes.
Who was that?
Tracy.
Tracy?
The secretary's asking everybody to state your name when you make the motions,
Okay,
just to help clarify
Thank you.
the records. Who made the motion?
Stacy. And Dave seconded it.
Oh, the vice, was it
Oh, no, who seconded it?
Tracy.
Tracy second? Who made the motion for Article 33?
22?
Uh,
32?
No.
We did 32.
33,
We're
zoning
on
map
33.
amendments.
I thought I made the motion.
Yeah, Joe did.
Joe did, thank you for clarification.
Okay, so we'll go down the roll call, say yes or no. Yes if you approve, no if you disapprove. Michael Moore,
Aye.
Philip Connors,
Aye.
David Billow,
Aye.
Tracy,
Aye.
Joseph,
Aye.
Marina,
Aye.
John Rock, aye. Okay, it's unanimous. Let's go to Article 34. Bylaw amendments, licenses and permits, and municipal charges liens. Do I hear a motion to approve, recommend to town meeting?
Motion to recommend town meeting.
Do I hear a second?
Second. Dave Billow.
Thank you. Let's take the vote. Yes or no, yes if you approve, no if you disapprove. Michael Moore,
Aye.
Philip Connors,
Aye.
David Billow,
Aye.
Tracy Sloan Maggio,
Aye.
Joseph Piana,
Aye.
Mariana Riantz,
Yeah, abstain.
abstain, and John Rock, aye. So I think that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yes and 1 abstain, I believe. Okay, thank you. Next is Article 35, Adopt Specialized Energy Code, presented by David Brillo.
I'll make the motion to approve. This is Philip Connors, Precinct 2.
So you made a motion to approve, to recommend?
Yes.
Second.
Second, Michael Moore. Okay, roll call vote, yes if you approve, and no if you don't approve. Michael Moore,
Aye.
Philip Connors,
Aye.
David Billow,
Aye.
you sure?
Yeah, aye.
Okay, since you presented. Tracy,
Aye.
Joseph Piana,
No.
Marina,
No,
John Rock, yes. So I believe that's 5 yes, and 2 no. Okay, Article 37, charter change for town council to review petition articles. Do I have a motion to recommend a town meeting?
I'd like to propose a motion to table it. Marina Ryans. I believe it would be beneficial.
This is the charter change for the town council to review articles?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. No.
Yeah, well, you voted against the other one, and so it'll be so noted, the previous one.
Sorry about that.
Okay, motion to recommend.
Motion to recommend the town meeting.
Thank you,
Piana.
Joe Piana. And second,
Second, Dave Billow.
Dave Billow. Okay, roll call vote, yes to approve, no to disapprove. Michael Moore,
Aye.
Philip Connors.
Abstain.
Okay, David Billow,
Aye.
Tracy,
Abstain.
Joseph Piana,
Aye.
Marina,
Aye.
John Rock, aye. So I think that was 5 yes and 2 abstains. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Okay, and finally, special town meeting article number 23, zoning map amendment, change GB zone to RC zone off Pleasant Street, presented by petitioner Juan Fox. So do I have a motion to recommend the town meeting, special town meeting?
Motion to recommend from Marina.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Joe Piana. Okay, roll call vote. If you approve, vote yes. No, if you disapprove. Michael Moore,
Aye.
Philip Connors,
Aye.
David Billow,
Aye.
Tracy Sloan Maggio,
Aye.
Joseph Piana,
Aye.
Marina Rance.
Aye.
Is that how you pronounce your name?
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Perfectly.
That was a lucky guess. And John Rock, aye. So that's 7 yes and 0 no's. With that, I believe our business is concluded. Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
That's from Joe Piana. Second,
Second, Dave Billow.
Dave Billow.
And
All
the
right, I'll
time is
take-
8:37.
What's that?
The time is 8:37, just for
Thank
the
you
record.
very much. I'll take a roll call vote on that. Yes or no? Michael Moore,
Aye.
Philip Connors,
Aye.
David Billow,
Aye.
Tracy Sloan Maggio,
Aye.
Joseph Piana,
Aye.
Marianne Rance,
Aye.
and John Rock, aye. The meeting is concluded. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate all your comments and input. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you, John,
Good night.
for chairing it.
Good night. Thank you.